Hey everybody, I'm Kelly Ellers,
I'm Jeffrey Lonin.
and this is Volume Up by the Teas.
Ever wonder who tests must-have hair products before they launch? At the lab, the salon back room. That's exactly what Amica Backrooms is all about. It's a community where professional stylists get early access to upcoming Amica launches, test them behind the chair, and help shape what comes next before they hit shelves. The newest launch? The Protector, Amica's new color protection and strengthening system, designed to help preserve color vibrancy, strengthen hair, and protect your client's investment between appointments. Want to be among the first to test future innovations? Visit amicabackrooms.com to be part of what's next and get the Protector today at your go-to beauty distributor.
Jeff, what have we been into? Oh, okay, wait. No. I have something I'm into.
Okay, all right.
And it's the Nordstrom anniversary sale. I don't know if I'm going to get into it, but somebody asked me what era I'm in right now. And starting today, I'm in my Ralph Lauren poplin shirt era.
Lovely.
I just thought you would want to know because there's many shades of me, as we know.
And there are many shades of Ralph Lauren, I think, in terms of
Indeed.
it's
You're
like
right.
the preppy, it's the Western,
Yep.
it's the, I mean, such an all-American brand and incredible, honestly. I gotta say, speaking of like all-star American brands, Nordstrom, like I find
Yeah.
myself, so I mean, this is not sponsored. We're not being plugged by
We
Nordstrom.
should be.
We
I would
should
love
be.
it.
We
Gee,
should.
cheapers.
Because I mean, the amount of shoes that I've bought for my children at that dance
Yeah.
store.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, this sale is a biggie, and there are a number of brands that we all know and love, pro brands,
Yep.
that are retailed there. So I don't know if you want to get a deal on some of that stuff, in addition to clothes, housewares, etc. Like it's a pretty good deal right now. There's
Do
a
you
number of good deals, is what I should say.
do you get sucked in by a sale?
I
Because we've talked about this before.
So not well, it depends. With
Hmm.
Nordstrom, I do though. Their like anniversary sale, I feel like
Oh, they do.
they've
They
got
cut
some
it
really
good.
good
Yeah.
brands that
Yeah.
I mean, so then and then the deals are pretty good. So it's like it gets me closer to converting than many others.
Yeah. That's
We've talked
fair.
about like Prime Day.
Oh no, we're
It
not
takes
doing
a
Prime Day.
lot. It takes a
No, we're not
lot
doing
for
that.
that.
We're not
But
doing
this,
that.
I'm like I'll give it a shot. It's okay. So
A,
like
a run through.
yeah, a little browse, a little peruse. Do you do you shop Essence? Essence, double S and E
No.
N S. It's like a
What is
fashion
that?
retail.
Oh.
It's a little
Uh,
bit
oh.
not.
Is
It's
it
not.
my jam? Or ooh.
It's a little bit edgier in terms of like the edit than like the curated. Then maybe, but
I
I feel like
wonder.
you would actually like some stuff. Anyway, they similarly are almost. It's like there's like 2 months out of the year where they're not running this like insane sale.
Oh, is it just shoes?
No, it's everything. Essence,
S
dot
S E
com,
N S E.
dot com.
Oh no, I've been here.
It's
I've
great. So
been
this
here
is another
before.
one where I'm like, oh, well, the sale's on.
Yeah.
I should look around.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Anyway.
I like this.
See?
I like it a
You
lot.
hold multitudes, Ralph Lauren and Essence. So get in
Wow.
on get on in on that. But back to Nordstrom really quickly. I mean, like there are all sorts of Dyson, L'Occitane,
That's a
like
deep cut for Dyson. I mean,
yeah, the price, yes.
it's so funny because like my Dyson like floor vacuum goes
Oh
goes
God.
goes in and out. And
hmm
I'm just so stubborn. I'm just like, I will not buy another one. I will
So
not.
I
They're
God love you.
so expensive. And
hmm
I will go and drop something. Like I'll go drop some mad cash on something in an instant. But I've
But
been
not
holding
that.
out for this
No, I understand.
goddamn
I'm right
this
there with you.
Dyson. I can't do
God.
it. You can't do it.
So I have the like the tower vac, like the
Okay.
normal, like whatever one, the Dyson
Is it
one.
the stick?
Well, but then I also have that one.
Whoa,
The
that's
stick one,
bougie.
well, it was, I think one of them was like a wedding or an anniversary. Like
Oh,
it was
that's
not
held a
it
test of
was
time.
very nice.
Yeah.
So, but the issue is this, the regular one, the like long cord plug-in one, that one
Mm-hmm.
still going and it looks fine and whatever.
It's the
The
stick
stick
one.
one with the rechargeable, like
No.
she gave up. She gave up, and I try, and I'm like, I've
Yep.
done all of the stupid tutorials,
Yep.
like
I've
clean up
unfilled
this
it.
thing,
I've cleaned it out.
exact,
It's like
you know.
stuck
And
again. Like
nope. And
it
she's
it's the
she's
bane
dead.
of my
She's living in the
existence.
garage. She's never gonna come out, and I'm never
She's not.
gonna replace her. Like
No.
it's not. So
I'm
it's
gonna
just
get a
like I.
shark one, or I'm gonna get a pure principle. I'm
Yeah,
not
you've been
doing it.
betrayed. Yeah, I'm there. I'm there with you. It's like if the tower back like stick thing doesn't reach it, it's not gonna get
It's
reached,
it. I
basically.
mean, I'm gonna go probably get some Chanel flats on an instant, but I will not
You draw the line at
replace
replacing. Yeah,
my
no, I get it.
Dyson.
It makes all the sense in the world to me, and I'm sure that our listeners would agree. That's the way that it should be, is how I feel.
Yeah. It's my 14-year-old's birthday today, and he's an interesting little soul that he doesn't ever want to celebrate it with anyone. But we have
Oh.
this tradition that we have had for a long time where we get him like a blow up like slide or whatever. But I mean,
Hmm.
he's 14 now. So we're not bucking from said tradition. So
What are you getting him?
so you put mom in charge of fun, you're
Hmm.
gonna get fun. Okay.
Great. Sounds
This
like a
is what
plan.
we got him. It's a whole ninja
Oh,
warrior
holy shit.
course. And
Holy
when
shit.
I tell you these trees are really tall and
These are
it's at the
mature,
top.
established
It's
trees.
at the top of these very
Wow.
mature trees. And so I hope he's having a blast by himself. That's where the fun drops off.
Wow. Well, I mean,
Mom goes to work.
I would have fun with that. Who wouldn't have fun?
I mean,
Are you and
I
Chris gonna get
might.
in
I
there?
might. I just duel it out. It's
Yeah.
literally like a ninja course where you like
That's
bash
that's
people.
incredible. You simply you should get on there and get somebody to record you going through that course, please and
You
thanks.
don't think I could
No,
crush a
I
ninja
know you
warrior
could. That's
course
what I'm
out
saying.
of
So do it. Do it out of sheer,
willpower?
yep,
Not
and
athleticism, not fitness, willpower.
determination.
You know what? Speaking of that, my 14-year-old, who is him, the same one, the Ninja
Mhm.
Warrior one, is
Yep.
incredibly strong. And he makes me arm wrestle him.
Oh,
And I can't
that's
beat him
at
with two
that.
hands. I
I was
can't.
worried.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm double doing this, putting all my body weight into it.
So how do you're
Can't
proud,
do
right?
it.
You're like, wow, good for him. But
Strong
then it's
dude.
also a little bit like,
Hmm.
ooh,
Have
not
we
good for me.
surpassed me? Yeah. I have no physical strength.
On a recent pod, on one of the interviews, we were talking about mortality, and I feel like that
That's
made me
one
think of
step
that too.
closer.
Exactly.
I need to get my bone density up.
Check after you
Whew.
do
Woof.
the Ninja Warrior
Yeah.
blow up course thing, please. But no, record it and you can send it on over, and we'll
Okay.
see if it
I
makes
bet
the
you'd love
gram.
it. I bet you'd love it.
I want to do it. There's sounds like nothing better. Although I would want to
Uh,
have done it after a couple of drinks,
for
which then
sure.
increases the likelihood of some,
Slippage,
some
slipping.
catastrophe. And also not something you want to record, but also that you do want to
That
record.
we
So
do. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Maybe
Um,
later.
yeah. Something that came across our desks that sort of is perplexing to me
Okay.
is the Labubu beauty bag
Hmm.
charm situation.
Hmm.
I thought we were done with Labubus.
We were. We were
I,
done last fall. I think
yeah,
we were
the
squarely done.
the
It
bubble
burst.
burst. They really did a disservice to themselves by making them so widely available. And yet there's a story in Cosmo about them being back and like beauty brands being involved in a sort of like resurgence.
Hmm.
Recently, there was another like SKU collection released where they had like long and elaborate hairstyles. So they look
Oh,
sort of
that I
like
like.
roll dolls.
Oh, I love that. I mean, I'm definitely getting one of those. Ask me how many little boo-boos I had.
How
Two.
how many Lubu? Just two. Okay.
Just two.
That's
One's
a
still in its box. But I
oh
did have mine hanging from my bag.
yeah, you
And
did.
I thought I was cool as shit. Like,
We all did for a brief moment, but then it's like, well, I mean,
we're
it's
done.
been well studied, this like scarcity versus volume model, and that their
Yeah.
brand was around scarcity, and then with, giving
The
people what they
over
wanted,
manufacturing. Yeah.
they really taint themselves. But
Huh.
some of these things are cute. I don't know. Listeners, are you over Labubu or are you still into it? Do you
Pro boo
have,
boo.
yeah, are you pro Boo Boo? I don't think that you could get me to
No,
go back to putting it
no.
on. Even my kids don't play with theirs, and they were like really into, they were like little cutesy playthings.
Yeah, I think
And
it's
they've
done
been,
its run its course, its ninja
yeah.
course.
And the course won. Um, turns out, turns out.
I do like a bag charm though, a
No,
lot.
same, same. Bag
Yeah,
charms are
like
great. It's just
love.
like the Labubu
No,
tough. It's
we're done with
tougher.
that.
It's yeah, I think it's
No,
over. Time to put that to bed. All
boo
right.
boos to bed. All
Mhm.
right. Welcome to The Fine Print. Each week, we're breaking down a story from culture, business, beauty, or the workplace that says a lot more than just the headline itself. We're going to talk about my story on the teas
Yeah.
this week. It's called Celebrated Then Silenced: The Price of Niceness for Women in the Beauty Industry. And I write about this. It was actually an excerpt from Rolling Stone. And think with our industry, we can certainly focus on building better habits, right? So over
Hmm.
time, beauty pros start to think being kind with being endlessly available, discount the service, stay late, answer messages after hours, squeeze them in, change the schedule, right? They don't want to have these difficult conversations about even pricing retail cancellations. And the irony is that an industry built on confidence often asks the woman inside it to minimize their own. And that's something that as an industry we need to be better at, right? Because we
Uh,
are innately nice girls, right? So we think a nice girl can't have boundaries, a nice girl can't disappoint somebody, but yes, they can. That's power, right? It's
mhm.
weak to let somebody walk all over you. So I think our industry needs to get better at that as a whole. What do you think?
I couldn't agree more. I mean, I think that this does a really nice job of giving people examples of where they can
Right.
apply niceness as you're sort of thinking it through. But I mean, so much room for improvement, particularly to protect people's peace. I mean, we've talked about this on this pod
Yeah.
so many times. Like, there's so much that's demanded of pros, specifically women pros.
Yeah.
And here's like a sort of roadmap for them to think about it differently, which is something we can all appreciate right now. Like making stuff easier for people, not overcomplicating things.
Yeah, if you think about it, you don't text your doctor to move your appointment 20 minutes, right?
No,
And here's the
no.
thing, I'm guilty of doing that for sure. And I'm going to stop right now.
You should. You got to respect people's boundaries too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I mean
A
it's
good
easier said
reminder.
than done, but yeah, as you
Hmm.
said, like a really, really good reminder. So check out the rest of this because it's chock full of really useful info and insights on thetease.com. And with that, we're going to get into obsessed or over it, guys. We're going to react to some stuff that you just buckle up and bear with us. Services trends, we're going to decide if they're a hit or a miss. Follow along with the show notes, our Instagram places. It's going to be there. The first one,
Hmm.
Shakira at the World Cup, first
Yeah.
ever halftime show, which was really controversial because you don't stop a game in the middle. But
Oh, you don't say.
no, not
Hmm.
for football. That's not American football. So yeah, this was a toughie. And there were a ton of people performing. But the queen of the World Cup herself,
Yeah.
Shakira,
Hmm.
what did you think of? First of all, did you watch this halftime
No, I
performance?
just saw the clips, but I think it was awesome.
No, no. Did you watch the final?
Oh, the game?
Yeah,
Bits and pieces. Like
bits and
I
pieces.
was I believe I was at an airport, to be honest.
That's
And there
fair.
were lots
It's a
of
good
men
excuse.
screaming around, and I was like, can we just not? One of my biggest pet peeves, this is not about Shakira or the halftime show, is like you see men out and about just wearing other men's jerseys. I don't like
Mm,
it.
mm.
And I saw a lot
That's
of that. So
saw a lot of that.
a lot
No,
of clips of
you're
that.
right.
But
So
I love Shakira. I mean, she's holding in strong. Isn't she married
sh
to Enrique Iglesias?
no, no, she
Oh,
sure isn't.
wait.
She sure
Wait.
is
No,
not.
wait, who's she married?
She's not married to anybody anymore. That's part of
What?
the lore.
Wasn't
That's
she before married
she
to him?
was
Okay, you made me feel
not
like I
to
was
no,
crazy.
not to
Like,
Enrique
okay.
Iglesias, to
Oh,
Pique, a
oh,
former football player,
oh,
soccer.
okay.
Anyway, yeah, no,
I like her.
there's lore there. She's great. I watched the game. I watched the game because I started watching the show, the
Of
halftime
course
show.
you did.
Oh,
You
I got
didn't just
no.
have the
And then I
soccer
was
game
invested in
on.
seeing Argentina lose, and they did,
Okay.
thankfully.
Okay.
But yeah, so this performance, the Muppets were there, but Shakira. Anyway,
The
the
Muppets.
Muppets, they
The
had a
Muppets are a
big.
lost art. Are the Muppets still around?
They are apparently. I mean, again, their
Love
performance time
that.
was longer than Madonna's, who also performed at this
Mm.
Showtime halftime.
I
Wow.
feel sad for Madonna in a way. Like I want her to just like age gracefully and be like, I was a total icon. I still am, but it's okay because
Hmm.
now I'm older and I am embracing that. But anyway, go ahead.
We digress. Yeah, Shakira. I
You
at
didn't like
least
it?
no. I find present day Shakira to be very shticky,
Oh,
and
okay.
so
Hmm.
I don't love what we're bringing to the table.
Okay.
But there is like a joyousness, like a
Yeah.
celebratory. She looked great. The hair was fun.
Yeah.
Much better than the opener in Mexico City, where it was alleged that she used like a clone. There was like a fake out Shakira. People were like, "It's not
What?
her." Oh yeah. This you can tell that it's her. So that's a step. So I'm gonna say like
Okay.
I'm obsessed. Sure. Sure. Why not?
I'm
I'll give it to her.
obsessed. I like it. I like that she's still out there and doing it.
Okay.
Sounds like she is, as you
She
mentioned. So,
is. She is. She sure is. Which is a good segue maybe into this next thing.
yeah.
Sweat powder,
Ew, gross.
body powder for sweat. People using this is kind of ingenious.
Yeah, it totally is. I mean, here's the thing. This is like, I don't know if this gal's getting ready for her wedding, but let
It
me tell
looks like
you, when I pulled up to Sonoma, California and had my wedding dress in my hand, the lady at the front desk was like, it's going to be record heat this weekend, like in the hundreds. And we had heaters rented.
oh.
It was not, I would have doused myself in this.
I mean, this is like something that I'm so
Smart.
excited that people are sharing. Yeah, so
I
we're being
mean,
told that celebs apparently use this, which makes all
yeah.
the sense in the world.
But like it's absorbing all of your like oils or whatever. It wouldn't just
Mhm.
be like a face blotter kind of thing. Like, I mean, is this, we would apply this to our face. We
Yeah,
know about that, but now it's everywhere.
yeah, now it's everywhere. I mean, it seems pretty genius. I mean, this is less intrusive than like Botoxing your armpits or whatever.
Yeah,
So
fair. I mean, she
I'm
does
a
have a little bit of a dusty hue on her though.
she does. So there's that to contend with. But maybe when you're in the elements and you like
Yeah, right. It
sweat a
evens out,
little
but
bit. Yeah.
I like it. I'm here for it.
I'm obsessed.
Might buy
Again, like
some.
get on that. We'd love to see it. The pros always innovating, as it were. Another thing, and we covered this on
Hmm.
the site, so it's not totally new to me. Your guy, um,
Yeah.
Belmont Camelli, like the name alone
It
seems like
screams
the
something.
algorithm made it up to
Might
me.
maybe did.
So, but it's more he and his curls are in a Tresemme
They are
campaign.
all in. Yep.
It's a good curl day, hot curl summer. I mean, good for them
Cute.
for capitalizing on,
Uh-huh.
the fanfare around what is the show? Not Heated Rivalry. That's what I would call the show. Not
Oh,
Heated
this is the
Rivalry.
Hallmark
Off
version one.
campus.
Yeah.
It's the Hallmark.
Remember?
The very steamy Hallmark. Yeah. Do you, I mean, yeah, he's got curls and he's used
They're
Tresemme.
fantastic. His curls are
Yeah.
fantastic, and it would make me want to go and just run and get some Tresemme hot curl summer.
That's exactly what that team wants to hear. So shout out to the marketing team.
Yeah, you did
I'm
it.
obsessed. Good for them. Like
Same.
it's probably only going to last for a little bit, and that's all the campaign is anyway.
That's all
So
we need. Just
yep,
one
good for
little
them.
boop.
Uh-huh. And with that in mind, the Rare Beauty campaign featuring Ella Bright,
Yep.
also of Off Campus. Thoughts on this campaign?
I think she is so stunning and so beautiful and natural. I love it. I love that she, embraces like the red lip. It's the soft pinch liquid blush and her cheeks are meant for this,
Hmm.
honestly.
Yeah,
She's so
she's got
beautiful.
a face for a beauty
She's
campaign
got the
for sure.
cheeks.
So the only thing, I mean, because we're stacking up these campaigns directly, I mean, we're doing this in real time. It is summer. It's summer,
Yes.
Kelly. We're
Yeah.
squarely in that space.
Mm-hmm.
And she is rocking a cardigan and
Yeah.
jeans, and like we're all
Yeah, I
buttoned up.
don't.
Like it does feel a little bit incongruous with the timeline in which it's been. It's her whole thing, I'm being told.
Oh, she always wears a
Oh,
cardigan? Oh.
Well, on off campus, like that's her look.
Oh, it
okay.
Her off
is?
campus look is like she wears the
I
car.
feel like we want to
I
distance
see.
ourselves from our characters,
We
actors
could,
and
yeah, I'm
actresses.
surprised she's not, to be honest, because she could have
She's
just had a tank
beautiful.
top on.
She's stunning, to be clear. Like she does this makes all the sense in the world
Stunning.
that Selena and
But
team
this is
would.
a fall campaign. Let's be
Yeah,
real. This
yeah,
is a fall
let's
campaign. Yeah.
please watch. I'm being told. Nobody's gonna get me to watch this damn show.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Okay, okay, speaking of, so we're just getting all the off-campus campaigns. Verizon and blonde guy from off-campus in a very sexy
Oh.
summer campaign. No? Couldn't tell you what this is for. I don't want to know.
Oh, wait, this is our next one? No.
No, we're we've just been told there's an
Oh,
uh, all sorts of off-campus people
which
getting campaigns
is
right
kind of
now.
interesting because to me, that was like a month or so ago. Like
Well, it
when did
takes
the show
time. It takes
wrap?
time. It takes time for these
I
campaigns to
know.
come together. I mean,
Oh,
we know
you're
better
telling
than I
me.
know. Well, I'm obsessed with them for the like. Enjoy your moment, gang. I love to see it. Although I will say that the Rare Beauty one is giving fall beauty campaign
It's
versus
totally
summer. So
fall. It's a fall,
there's
autumn.
that.
No,
Just doesn't
no,
feel right for
no,
me. So I'm
no.
maybe less obsessed with that, but I'm obsessed with the category of these kids getting this work. How about that?
I love it. Today, we're joined by two heavy hitters who are taking the industry by storm. First, we have Suveen Sahib. Suveen is the co founder and CEO of K18, the biology first hair care brand behind the breakthrough K18 peptide technology. Today, he's leading the brand's expansion into hair longevity with its newest innovation, FutureIQ. We are also joined by Kathy Lewis. Kathy is K18's Senior Vice President of Global Education. With more than 2 decades in professional beauty, she helps bring the latest hair science to stylists around the world through education and innovation. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and send in questions to volumeupwiththetease.com.
But before we get there, let's talk Tease Beauty News, shall we? And this it makes all the sense in the world that we would talk about this. The article is K18 brings longevity science to hair care with
Mm-hmm.
new Future IQ serum. K18 is redefining the future of professional hair care with the launch of Future IQ, its biggest innovation since a viral molecular repair mask. Rather than repairing damage after it happens, the new
Mm-hmm.
biomimetic hair longevity serum takes a preventative approach by targeting the biological causes of premature hair aging, including shedding, early graying, and scalp aging, before they become visible. Powered by multivital technology, Future IQ is designed for nightly use and supports healthier, stronger hair over time, marking a major shift towards hair longevity in the professional beauty industry. Head to thetease.com to learn how K18 is changing the conversation around hair health. So, what are your thoughts on this? Like, this is it's not a magic serum, but it certainly feels like it.
Yeah, here's the thing. After talking with the two in the interview, which we'll get to, I mean, there is so much care and dedication into what they're doing from a formulation perspective
Hmm.
that, I mean, they took the market by storm from a disruptor perspective. And so,
They sure did.
for this one, I'm assuming that same storm. And I also think it's interesting that we're now talking about longevity from a hair perspective,
Hmm.
right? It's kind of like the skinification of beauty, where it's
Hmm.
like, were we talking about longevity as consumers, and now it's like getting into the hair space. So
Yeah.
I have no doubt that the product will be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. Really excited about them niching down in this way. And I'm looking forward to trying it myself. I mean, you know that I've got some grays. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I'm going to be trying some Future IQ serum for myself.
All right. Yusuf breaks down Rihanna's look from the final night of Jay-Z's Yankee Stadium residency. Rihanna closed out Jay-Z's Yankee Stadium residency with a major hair moment and celebrity hairstyle. Yusuf was the mastermind behind the look. In our exclusive conversation, he shares the inspirations, the product that kept her style flawless through the humidity, and his tips for recreating the look yourself. Head to thetease.com to learn more about it. Jeff,
I
what do we
mean,
think about it?
I'm obsessed. I mean, back to obsessed or over it. Rihanna can do no
You're
wrong.
there.
My
Yeah.
yeah. Oh
Yeah,
no,
you're right.
she's the
Riri.
queen.
Mm-hmm.
I stand. I mean, and it was Rihanna and Beyonce at this concert. And she came out.
Crazy.
She's saying she looks incredible. Yeah, her hair was also great. So I was so excited that we got this. And shout out to Yusa for being in touch with us and sharing so much. I mean, it is rare, when the client is this big that you
Yes.
get details, and we got them. So go to the
Got
T's.
him. Got him.
Thank you so much to our contributors and our editors for this week's beauty news. And don't forget to check out more stories like these over on thetees.com.
Now stay tuned for my interview with Suveen and Kathy. You were told nice girls finish last, but what if being nice was never the problem? What if the real problem was everything women were taught to give up in order to win? Their voice, their boundaries, their ambition, even themselves. In Nice Girls Win, I challenge the invisible contracts women have been honoring without ever agreeing to them. This isn't a book about becoming harder, louder, or less like yourself. It's your permission slip to lead with confidence, use kindness as your competitive advantage, and build success that actually feels good. Because nice girls don't finish last, nice girls win. Suveen Sahib is the co-founder and CEO of K18, the biology-first hair care brand that transformed the professional beauty industry with its patented K18 peptide molecular repair technology. Under his leadership, K18 has pioneered a new era of biotech-driven hair care, and with the launch of FutureIQ, the brand is expanding beyond repair into hair longevity, introducing a proactive approach to addressing premature hair aging through cutting-edge biological science. Kathy Lewis is the Senior Vice President of Global Education at K18 Hair, where she leads the brand's education strategy across professional, consumer, and digital channels. With more than 20 years of experience spanning K18, Wella Company, OLAPLEX, Bumble and the Estée Lauder Companies, Kathy is passionate about empowering stylists through innovative education, building global communities, and helping professionals confidently bring the latest advances in hair science to the salon. Here we are. Excited to chat. Suveen, for listeners meeting you for the first time, can you share a little bit about your background before K18? Like, let's go back to your origins.
Kelly, first of all, kind of thank you for having us here. And I spent more than about 30 years across consumer products,
Okay.
tech, and before I moved into biotech. And as I kind of reflect on my professional journey, it's been about largely simplifying complex systems. At Danone,
Okay.
I used to kind of I helped build brands like Evian, which is just about editing out everything. And then I was kind of building up a platform way back in 2011, something like Zoom, much before Zoom really happened in our lives. And finally onto kind of a K18. So it's been all about, hey, how do we kind of really kind of solve complex problems and find simpler, more effective solutions?
And what was that kind of aha moment that you're like, I'm going to study biology of hair? Because it sounds like, was the hair category new to you?
Oh, absolutely. I had no understanding of the hair care category or at that point of time an interest. My my partner and in real life, Britta Cox, she is the founder of Arcus Hair Towel. And I used to kind of
Yeah.
help her out on the tech front while I was building up my own tech platform. And our conversations led to kind of
Huh.
to kind of a learning more about, why hair care is such a really struggle for women and men across the globe, especially if you love coloring your hair, bleaching your hair, or even, relaxing and others.
Yeah.
And I was kind of looking up a lot of consumer reviews about the Arcus hair towel, which was about drying
Okay.
hair quickly. But
Hmm.
what kind of really kind of piqued my attention was about a lot of consumers saying, "Hey, this is making my hair healthier. My hair feels less frizzy." And I was wondering, this is not a hair care product. It's not adding anything to hair. How can it kind of do that?
Yeah.
So that was a moment when I kind of really kind of started kind of diving deep into the biology to kind of more from an
Okay.
academic perspective to understand what was really happening with being water and this Arcus hair towel and why was it working the way it did.
Yeah, that is so interesting. And obviously, your brand K18 has been a true category disruptor. When did it turn into a mission to be like, okay, I've got something here. Let's go for this.
It started with an Arcus hair towel as I kind of dive deeper into the
Okay.
biochemistry and biophysics
Yeah.
of hair. One of the things that I kind of learned was what looked like a fiber to most of us is one of the most sophisticated biological composites. Nothing inside the hair station. It's these molecular chains
Mm.
connected by peptide bonds. They're connected with other molecular chains, and then they're interacting in real time, be it humidity, be it heat styling, be it bleaching, be it alkalinity. And why the hair towel was working was essentially because as bleached hair would come in contact with water, you had the internal protein structure, it would start swelling. And
Uh-huh.
in that swelling of the matrix proteins, would the hair start kind of a really kind of a becoming kind of a, some of the hydrogen bond replacement would happen. And that's where the hair towel was, by simply absorbing the water quickly in the first
Ah,
couple of minutes, it was
interesting.
able to reform those bonds and also improve the crystalline structure. And that's where I realized that this was not just about drying of the hair. This was
Hmm.
everything about hair and beauty. Because if you think about it for a minute and you step back, everything in beauty, be it hair care, be it skin and cosmetics, has had its genesis in cosmetic chemistry, which is
Yeah.
amazing when it
Yeah.
comes to color, styling, makeup. But beyond a point, that cosmetic chemistry does not understand biology. So
Mm.
we've been using this toolkit for the last several decades, which has a suboptimal understanding of biology. So you really need to start with biology, understand, and that's
Yeah.
when you can kind of really kind of craft products that serve the biology. And
Yeah.
that's what really kind of got me to kind of take a deep dive into biotechnology, looking at the tools and looking at how can we repair hair. Because
Yeah.
when you kind of look at most of hair care is most largely kind of driven by color, styling, the salon services. And you have this environment of oxidative mediums combined with alkalinity, essentially disrupting these molecular chains. And you could just simply connect them back. You needed
Hmm.
to find a way to kind of
Yeah.
really bring them back to their natural state, because that's when hair would kind of have that sense of elasticity, that strength that you seek, so they can continue coloring your hair. And that's how I kind of got deeper into biotechnology.
Yeah. I mean, it's fascinating. I can tell you're passionate about it.
Thank you.
We also have Kathy Lewis with us today. Talk to me about, K18 science. What stood out to you from your lens?
Well, as you said, it was a disruptor, right? So
Yeah.
I was in the industry already working with another brand, and when K18 came out, and it was truly a disruptor. Everyone was buzzing about it. And bond building was huge back then. It was like the new innovation. But for me, so I went and tried it. I went and bought it and tried it, as I'm sure a lot of people did. And really, it was the efficacy that stood out to me. I
Okay.
used it one time, and I genuinely saw a difference. It was immediately, I was like, wow, this really works. And then
Wow.
I looked into the science. And once I
Yeah.
looked into the technology behind it, it was truly innovative and it was disruptive. It was doing something that no other brand was doing because it was repairing the polypeptide chains, the bonds. There was much more comprehensive. So that's what stood out to me. It was simple and incredibly effective.
Yeah. And from your education standpoint, I'm sure it's fascinating because there's actually so much more to educate the end consumer and the stylist on with this new technology.
Yeah, totally. And it's for us, it's finding the simplest way to do it, right? Because we
Yeah.
want to make sure that it's understandable. And it's a lot of people, when they hear the word science, they get intimidated
Yeah.
immediately. But what I think makes it easier for us is, as I said, you see the results when you use it, but it's also very easy to use the product. You put it on, you wait 4 minutes, and you'll have your results. So
Yeah.
from an education perspective, application is super easy. There's no habit change. There's nothing to do other than put it on and wait 4 minutes. So it's
Yeah.
been quite easy in that sense.
Fantastic. Suveen, K18 has often challenged conventional thinking around hair damage. Um, Talk to me about hair aging and kind of what the products are helping to combat from a health of a hair perspective.
I think, as Kathy kind of pointed out, when you have an industry that was really kind of focused on masking damage without
Yeah.
really kind of improving the underlying structural integrity, you can't really kind of solve here. Because think about it this way: if we kind of look at our own human biology, like we got
Mm-hmm.
skeleton and muscles. When the
Mm-hmm.
skeleton and muscles are strong, you can imagine how we kind of all look and feel. When those kind of really kind of get disintegrated, you can
Yeah.
imagine how it felt. No amount of
Hmm.
masking is going to, no amount of foundation is going to help us. So
Hmm.
it's the same thing with the hair. Fundamentally, you got these molecular chains, and think about them as the internal backbone, the muscles in the hair.
Yeah.
When that structural integrity is there, and you focus on kind of addressing that, that's when hair will hold volume together. Hair will hold color better. Hair will feel aligned, and that's essentially how we be kind of thinking about. But to do that, you kind of got to kind of start understanding and taking a deep dive into biology. And this being our DNA, we haven't kind of as a brand, we haven't had our roots in styling and cosmetic chemistry, and then kind of we suddenly one fine day kind of okay, let's kind of now think about longevity, which today is kind of becoming is all over mainstream, and everyone is putting a label to it. To me, I think what was important was as we kind of started understanding what keeps the hair fiber together, So you have, if you think about hair, scalp, and the follicle, it's one integrated habitat. And along with that, the microbiome and they're all. So it's like the tree, the soil, and the roots. And we're focusing on first part is how do you keep the tree healthy? So the tree is having a daily kind of a weathering sensor, aggressors, be it bleaching and others, and you want to kind of really protect that tree. But then underneath, you kind of want to kind of keep the soil correct, and healthy, and you want to get onto the follicle. And that's where we kind of started kind of really looking at what was happening out there. We were looking at that. Everyone, mostly like people in their 20s, 30s, early 40s, they were saying that the hair is shedding sooner than they want. It's graying sooner. The scalp feels devitalized. And that was a part, what you kind of realizing is there were several kind of aggressors that are really working together, and people's hair and scalp was aging much sooner than they wanted. So I may be in my 30s, but my scalp, my hair and my follicle is probably in his 50s. And that's a point of disconnect as a consumer I have. So that's what that's where repair taught us something very, very important, that this damage and this accelerated aging. I want to this is not about longevity. This is about accelerated aging that's happening. They often converge on the same biological pathways. Once we understood that, the next logical question was, how do we really kind of preserve that biological function for a longer period of time? And that's kind of got us into longevity.
Yeah, that is so fascinating how you explain it, that I've never thought of the age of my hair being different than my body, right? That accelerated aging is so fascinating. So in terms of longevity, I know, Kathy, we've got a product launch happening, FutureIQ launch, and you're introducing that idea of hair longevity, which is why we're chatting today. Talk to me about the launch. Talk to me about what you're excited about.
Oh, this is true innovation. I'm excited about a lot of different things. And as Suveen said, I mean, one thing he noted with the tree, the roots, it's comprehensive, right? It's not just one thing. The thing, longevity, we're hearing the word more and more now, but it's really about the ability to last, preserving the lifespan of the hair. And as Suveen said, getting it back to where we truly should be. And I think people don't think about that. People don't think about that their hair is, and you think about it with your skin all the time, right? You see wrinkles sooner than you expected, and you worry about it, but it's just an extension. Your scalp is skin as well. And so it all starts to have a domino effect. So longevity, this product, this is truly innovative. It is going to, I don't want to give it all away right away. Should Suveen give it all away? But it's basically taking you back. It's for people that are seeing premature aging. So if you're seeing premature aging, if you're seeing graying sooner than you expected it, if you're seeing shedding sooner than you expected it, it can help with that. It can help stop the clock, so to speak. I'll let Suveen speak to the science more than I, but it literally takes you back and prevents you from having that premature aging, and can slow down the progression of graying, can slow down the progression of thinning and shedding.
Okay, Suveen, now I want the biology side. How are you doing this?
I mean, first of all, when we kind of look at what our research kind of taught us, I think it was about as Kathy pointed out, those visible signs that arrive much later than, much sooner than actual biology. And what we kind of realized is firstly, when you kind of look at the scalp and the follicle architecture, it's one of the most specialist systems in the human biology. And it's evolutionary, because as human beings, our face and our scalp were exposed to the UVB damage much sooner than everything else compared to the rest of the body. So their morphology is very similar, and they evolved very, very differently. And the whole thing was about protecting the brain inside and the structure. The second thing you had to kind of think about when it comes specifically to the scalp, unlike the rest of the skin, scalp is a living system. You got these hundreds of thousands of these 50 to 100,000 of these hairs. They are follicles, and follicles are living systems.
Also never thought about that.
Exactly.
You'd be amazed.
And if you kind of think about it, our hair follicle is the second most energy consuming organ in the human body outside of the brain. That's the reason why the follicle shows immediate any changes in whether it's the nutrient system, the hormone system, the stress system. It quickly kind of shows up in a follicle compared to the rest of the body. And then, because follicle is a living system, it's creating what you call reactive oxygen species, because it's the byproduct of that living system. So one of the things that we wanted to kind of really focus on was this element of what is driving accelerated aging in a biological system. And that's something which you would have heard of. It's called inflammation, chronic inflammation. What's chronic inflammation fundamentally, if you think about it? In our biological system, think about there's an expressway, and most everything in biology is a biochemical reaction. It's an exchange of electrons, protons. That's basically, and in most of the cases, the end result, the stable state, is about an electron wanting to convert itself into water. That's happening in it's an output of most of our biochemical reactions. Now, on this expressway, there's a steady stream of electrons being generated. And in the case of the scalp, you're generating a lot more of these electrons because it's a living system, and this is a byproduct. Now, at the end of it, they want to convert themselves into water. But now there's this a huge traffic jam happening of these electrons. Why is this coming from? It's coming from I did a bleaching service. It's created more oxidative stress in my system, and I'll kind of speak to it more. My hormones are changing. It's coming. My UVB light, it's affecting my food, my habit, my diets, my medications, my lifestyle. I'm spending more time in artificial light. Each of these, think of these as instances when it's building up a big traffic jam of electrons. And as a consequence, what's kind of happening is, instead of converting all of them convert to water, because they're literally lying in the waiting, they go into an unstable state and they convert into hydrogen peroxide. Now, we all know what hydrogen peroxide can do. And imagine it doing it at a follicle level, at a cellular level, in our liver systems, in the pancreas. That is aging, because what happens is it literally ruptures the cell contents and puts it into the bloodstream. And the rest of the body starts thinking of it as an invader. So it starts diverting all resources to fighting inflammation. This chronic inflammation is what you call accelerated aging in a system. Now, more in the context, as Kathy pointed out, when it comes to our hair, there are three things happening. First is this hydrogen peroxide that I kind of mentioned. When you kind of look at our follicle system, at any point of time, there are many hairs which are in active growing phase, and it puts them very quickly into a dormant phase. So suddenly, the hair that should grow, it starts shedding because it's gone into dormant phase. And the second thing that this hydrogen peroxide does, it starts to in our cells. There's what you call a programmed cell death. So but this accelerates that, what you call the apoptosis, and the acceleration of the programmed cell death. So with the result, that follicle system starts dying, and literally as a consequence of that, you have hair shedding happening. The second thing that happens is we have the scalp and the perifollicular system. So it starts disrupting that entire perifollicular system in our scalp. It's like suddenly the soil gets very loose and gets very toxic. And on top of that, we have, because our follicles are a living system, we produce a lot of squalene, which is the best antioxidant, because as I said, that to counteract the oxidation that's already happening in our scalp. So what happens is, now this squalene, which is likely to protect, because of this increased oxidative stress, it turns into squalene hydroperoxide, which becomes toxic, and it starts literally disrupting it, compounding that impact on the scalp. And therefore the soil gets a lot more and kind of a toxic, loose, and you can imagine what that would do to that tree.
Right.
Then the final thing is is melogenesis. You have in a follicle, you have this enzyme, which in the hair bulb is called tyrosinase. It's producing melanin. And as it produces melanin, that melanin needs to be robust, and then it needs to transport and then deposit. That starts getting, all the three pathways start getting oxidized, with the result that I may produce melanin, but it may not get transported, or it may not get deposited. So that gets impacted. And on top of that, this hydrogen peroxide in this millimolar levels starts literally killing the stem cells in the follicle. So
wow,
this oxidative stress literally,
it's a lot going
when you
on.
talk about hair shedding, scalp devitalization, and graying, this is what happens. And then there's a material increase, research has shown, of hydrogen peroxide in the gray hair. So this is not just about what people kind of try to kind of think about, oh, it's gray hair. This is not about gray hair. This is about under the hood.
Yeah.
What's kind of
That's
happening.
interesting.
And that's what really kind of, like we said, we need, let's not talk about longevity in a very abstract sense, which usually you hear in the industry. Let's kind of precisely focus on where's this accelerated aging happening because of this oxidative stress. Let's kind of go about solving that.
That is wild. That brain of yours, Suveen. A lot in there.
It's a team. It's
a lot in
there.
It takes a village.
Kathy, okay, what are you hearing when you're out training and educating, when stylists are saying, what is hair longevity? Or what do they say when you say that phrase? Because I feel like that's a new concept in a way.
It is. It's new. It's funny. I was on a conference call earlier today, and we were asking questions, and a load of stylists put their hands up when we asked, "Are your clients speaking about longevity?" And I was surprised because I didn't think clients were taking it to them that much yet. The majority of people said yes. So firstly, really, what they ask is, "What exactly is it? What is hair longevity, and how?" And then second, how do I explain it to my client? And it's a word that's popping up more and more, but it's like, as I said, it's about lifespan. It's about the ability to make that hair get your best possible, ability to last. And then as Suveen said, there's so much going on below the surface, and people are talking about scalp for the last several years now. 5 years ago, nobody was talking about scalp.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
10 years ago, nobody was talking about hair health, period, really, from a client perspective. They weren't really thinking about what was going on beneath the surface. Then they started with bond building and repair, and everybody got into repair. And then it became scalp. And now longevity is the next evolution of that. And I think it's part of a bigger movement too, that people are just more into their holistic wellness and how they are inside. Clients are so much more informed now. So stylists need to understand it in a simple form, but they really need to get ready to have the conversation, because the clients, as I said in the call today, I was shocked at how many people said their clients are speaking about it now. Like, what exactly is it? And what do I do? But they're looking for an holistic approach to fixing their hair, and they're hearing, okay, longevity, how can I hold on to it? How can I make it stay as good as it is? They see that everybody's graying. They don't want to. So, we're here to teach them.
How does FutureIQ kind of fit into the broader mission of helping people express themselves without limitations, which we know that K18, that's a foundation of the brand.
Pure expression. Well, it's bringing them back to who they truly are. Right. So all of the stressors that Suveen just referenced are accelerating the clock. So you're getting grayer sooner, you're thinning sooner, you're feeling shedding, it's feeling different, and you're not ready for it. And so what we're really doing is bringing it back to so you can really be who you are. We're giving you the hair you were meant to have. We're giving you the hair that you would have if it wasn't for all the oxidative stress, if it wasn't for all the, everything, all of the different components that are impacting your scalp health, your hair health every day. So FutureIQ will take you back to basically, help you be who you really should be, and the age that you really should be, and where your hair should be for your biological age.
Yeah,
I think
fantastic.
I want to kind of underscore, I think this is not about extending the lifespan of hair.
Okay.
It's about extending our joy span fundamentally. It's like that. Is it for everyone? No. The thing is, where a lot of these products can actually work is about preserving the biological function. If I have an active biological function, that's where it works, and that's where it can. The whole idea is how do you reduce the delta between how fast you're aging, chronologically aging, and how fast your hair, scalp, and follicle architecture is aging. If you can reduce the delta every day, you're giving people an opportunity. I can color my hair as often as I want.
Exactly.
I won't get stressed about, oh my God, I'm shedding my hair and now I should stop coloring. I mean, I'll give you a personal example. I mean, I'm Asian, my black hair. I literally have to take it to level 10 to kind of to bleach it. And this was almost about a year back. My stylist actually told me, can you stop coming in? Because I'm concerned about your scalp. It was a moment in many ways, it was a moment of truth for me too. Because, and what's in it? Because as I'm experiencing shedding, I'm experiencing gray. The first thing is, hey, maybe I should kind of stop these processes. But ultimately, we thrive. Hair is about thriving in expression. And if we can kind of create possibilities to be able to do it as much as it's not forever, but the thing is, if early on we can support that helps. And this matters more today than ever, because today people are bleaching the hair much earlier than they ever did. They're putting it through more heat styling every day. They're putting it through more stress literally every day of their lives than they ever did. And that's if between like we started with the repair, which was about how do you take care of the tree with the K18 mask and the treatment system. But if we can kind of take care of that, the soil and the follicle for people who feel this accelerating, I think that we give them a better chance to enjoy expressing the hair longer.
Yeah.
That's
I love that. I love that.
And I was just going to say, to add to that, Suveen, what I like about that is that your stylist wasn't afraid to have the conversation. And I think a lot of the time, I think a lot of stylists, and I hear it in classes all the time, they're intimidated by science. They're intimidated by now all the questions that they're getting asked by their clients. So they kind of avoid it. They see something going on and they don't say anything because they're afraid they'll get asked a question that they don't know the answer to.
Sure.
But the truth is, the more they bring it up, the more forward they are, like your stylist, Suveen, just said it proactively. Like, look, your scalp needs a break. Take a break. It's actually building authority. It's building respect. It's building trust, because they didn't just pretend they didn't notice. And then he would have had hair, potentially breaking or scalp issues or something down the road. They saw it coming and they addressed it with him. And I don't know, I don't want to speak for you, Suveen, but I'm assuming you will stay loyal to that stylist because it builds trust, right? And it builds their authority as, they're somebody that now, you can rely on. So stylists shouldn't be intimidated by it. They should be leaning into this conversation because, as I said, they're going to start asking. You just need to feel empowered and knowledgeable to answer them.
And if I'm a stylist listening and I'm saying, okay, great, how do I actually talk to my clients about this so it does feel relevant? Like, where do I start?
Well, with the FutureIQ launch, we are launching really comprehensive education because we know that this is going to be a difficult conversation, right? And you heard Suveen explain it. There's a lot to explain. We're simplifying it as much as possible, but we're also spending we're going to have more equipment and education and training and materials for stylists on how to have the conversation. We have entire sections just on consultation. We're having a new science certification coming out with a whole section on consultation. How do you start the conversation? We have tools. I have a tool right here, which has little prompts on what to say. So we're literally giving sound bites. For us, I think we need to find really simple ways and sound bites to give the stylist, like, here's the cause and effect, she's saying she's graying. What's the common causes of graying? Here's, cause and effect, and then really giving a lot of sound bites and nuggets. But we'll have a lot of education and science certification and simplifying what causes things and how to address them and how to speak to your client about them.
And K18's done this before. I mean, disrupted a category. So you've got a lot of experience in taking something complex and making it very simple and relatable.
I mean, to your point, Kelly, I think, first of all, nobody cares about biotechnology. Nobody cares about science. What people care about is the outcomes, how they feel. And that's what matters at the end of the day. It's not performance of the label. It's performance in real life. And that's what, as a brand, we've been kind of focused on, and that's the purpose we intend to kind of serve. And to underscore Kathy's point, I mean, think about it this way. Every day when we are in front of a mirror, we look at our hands, we can look at our face. We know what's happening in our body.
Good point.
But how many times can you actually figure out what's happening in your scalp and your hair?
Until it's too late, or it's like a
Exactly,
problem.
until it's too late. But hair, everyone in the world has a stylist. And the stylist is the one who is noticing what's kind of happening in your scalp, in your hair, much sooner than anyone else. And yet, to Kathy's point, stylists are not having that conversation.
Yeah.
It's like it's the elephant in the room. And I think we feel stylists have this such an huge opportunity for the stylists to kind of really kind of not just elevate their role, but elevate their business and kind of move from just simply being transformation specialists to being the protector of your client's hair assets. Because when as Kathy said, when you create that micro trust, you only keep that client for longer. Number two is, if I'm already noticing my hair shedding, I'll space out my coloring service. I'll start putting my money and saying, okay, let me go to an esthetician and kind of figure out how to kind of get my hair back. So this is not just a disruption there; it's also a disruption to their revenue stream. So I think this is such an incredible opportunity for stylists to take leadership. And some of the surveys we did, and we thought like, hey, if I'm having hair shedding, I'm graying, where would I go first? We assumed that they would want to go to a dermatologist, trichologist, or an esthetician. 45% of them said that they would want to speak to their stylist.
That's right.
That's
adding authority to the stylist. I mean, we at the T is one of the reasons we started the T is my mom was a stylist and salon owner for 40 years. And the conversation in the industry does need to be elevated, and then put our pros at the top on a pedestal, right? Like, let's celebrate them. Let's make them and give them tools to be that authority. So we raise the industry.
Stylists are hair doctors. That's what I think. They're the hair doctors. That's who clients, as Suveen said, 45%, if they're having a significant problem, would want to talk to their stylist before a doctor when it comes to their hair and to their scalp. And for me, you're sitting there with them with the client in your chair. You're seeing it first, but the stylist is who you ask. Like, oh, did you notice I'm getting thin, or like I'm getting so gray? What should I do, or how should I cover up this spot? Like, that is who they ask. And so we can't dodge it. We can't keep dodging it. And as you said, now, like scalp, everyone's talking about scalp now, and longevity is coming next. And there's nothing to be intimidated about, because if you can just answer their questions, if you can give them some advice, it doesn't have to be overly scientific, overly complicated, but just know the basics and know what to tell them. And they want a very simple explanation too, but as soon as you do that, you have authority. Then you're like, they say, what should I do about this? You're like, I think it's probably been caused by this. Here's a solution. You can keep it that simple. You don't have to get into, biomimetic technology. Like, I think people are sometimes afraid to go there, but then you build that trust. You build that trust, and then they'll come back to you. They see you as an authority. If they ask you a question and you don't know the answer, that's not helping your relationship. If they say what's going on and you're like, yeah, I don't know, that doesn't look good. So we really need to get informed.
At the same time, when you kind of think about our consumers, they're already way ahead of the game. Today, consumers are kind of like, whether it's NADs, they already, you take collagen because that's going to impact improve your skincare possibility. So consumers are already way ahead. They're searching for solutions. So this is a conversation that's already mainstream, and consumers are realizing the value of kind of a longevity at multiple levels. So it's just the question about how do you kind of jump mainstream into that conversation rather than kind of wait for the conversation.
And like I said, you've done it. You've jumped into mainstream before in the category. So incredible. Talk to me about what multi-vital technology means in relation to the product.
That's a great question, Kelly. Again, when you kind of think about the beauty industry, or a lot of kitchen chemistry that exists out there, we think about how do you kind of people talk about biomimetic peptides, people talk about protein, and it's going to solve this, it's going to solve that. When you think about biology is not thinking this is color, this is hair. It looks at it as one continuous systems. And what happens is, the same underlying stressors that influence follicle performance also influence scalp vitality, retention, pigmentation simultaneously. So talking about I can solve hair graying is a very narrow lens to the world. You can't really solve
Okay.
it. What the way you can solve it is when you understand all the biological pathways that impact both the shedding, the scalp revitalization, and what you call the visible sign of what you call, hair aging, which is graying. If you don't understand all of those three and have an ability to impact those mechanisms in a simultaneous manner. So, for
Yep.
example, and I said earlier, hey, look at melogenesis in the tyrosinase. This enzyme that produces color.
Oh.
Now imagine it's producing color in enough color, but it gets oxidized. That color is not going to go anywhere. Now it produces color and it's transporting color. That color gets oxidized. It's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to go anywhere. So if you don't understand these interconnected pathways, you can't really solve them. And that's what for us, this is not about the ingredients in the product. It's about the capability that we built
Yes.
from that and the insight. And as I said, we've been a biology first company ever since K18 was born. We realized that to solve this element of what you call premature aging, we needed to have an ability to understand this interconnection of these pathways and be able to impact them in a way so that we can positively impact what you call the visible signs of aging. And that's what the multivital technology is about. This is not ingredients, they're in isolation. This is about how they work together to drive those outcomes that we see people having out there.
Okay, fantastic. Kathy, are you approaching education in any different way, knowing that you have these complex, categories complex things to break down, right? What Suveen is saying, you need to translate into layman's terms, and then that needs to translate into the consultation. Are you approaching education any differently than you have to make sure that it's successful?
Yeah, I mean, as a consultation, that's exactly what we're
Okay.
focusing on. We're putting much more emphasis on consultation because we understand, we recognize it's it's hard it's habit change, right? When you're used to doing consultation and you're used to just talking about what you want to do today, your cut, your color, your style, opening up that conversation about scalp health, about longevity, about hair health is difficult. So for us, it's about how can we make it, as you said, simple, sound bites, understandable, and then really helping educate. We're working with Tom Smith, who is a longevity and hair health specialist, is one of our global ambassadors. We're working with multiple stylists that have been very successful in this arena in creating videos, how-tos, et cetera, around consultation. So we're spending a lot more time making it bite-size, easy to understand, simplifying, just cause and effect. This happens, the hair is this way because of this, and here's the solution, and how to start those conversations. We'll have a lot around that, because I understand that starting the conversation is the first hardest part, and then we will have sound bites and simple ways to have it.
And they just need to do it once, right? Because the proof is in the pudding, right? So once they have the treatment, they'll again have that authority with their stylist and then return for more.
Exactly.
I mean, to add to this is at the stylist level. This is about the community level. I mean, I think one of the areas that I believe we kind of done a reasonably great job is demystifying science and make it simpler and education. I mean, nobody, like, for example, when it comes to aging hair, people don't come into the salon saying, I have oxidative stress. They come and say, oh my God, my hair feels thinner, it feels duller, weaker. And that lived experience is holistic. So the solution should be too. And that has therefore kind of a start with really having a deeper understanding of what it means, how a client experiences it and expresses it, be they in a salon or outside. And this is where we have really done a good job. I mean, be it with the K18, wear mask, be it with the air wash, which became a game in the dry shampoo category. Or you look at when we created the whole new Reslicor peptide for the heat protection. In each of these instances, it was about you building first principles and starting completely new technologies which didn't exist before. At the same time, simplifying the outcome, and then making our communities, be it stylists or consumers, curious about why they work the way. That's when the possibility of explaining the biology behind the biotechnologies matters. Otherwise, starting with that really has no consequence because nobody is interested.
Yeah, absolutely. Where do we think the greatest potential is to transform hair care over the next decade?
I see the greatest opportunity is about preservation
Okay.
of our hair, because you don't hair that regenerates itself only a few times in a life cycle. The
Okay. Oh,
more that cycle, the more that we can preserve the biological function of the cycle, and therefore longevity is such a core part of the future. And
okay.
and longevity is at multiple levels. I mean, we kind of are today focusing on the chronic stress and the chronic oxidation, that
Yeah.
the inflammation that's working. But along with this, there are multiple things, other things also happening. So the more every day we can make a step change in our understanding of longevity, in our understanding of follicle systems. I mean, like you kind
Yeah.
of think, incredible startups out there working on follicle stem cells to kind of regenerate melanogenesis pathways. So you see there's so much of an opportunity that's kind of happening
Yeah.
out there in addressing and building up on the longevity. And again, as I said, longevity is not about, hey, can I extend the lifespan of the hair beyond a certain level? It's about really
Sure.
focusing on the how do I every day I am there, how do I have healthy hair that I can play around with and express myself? And this is what ultimately the purpose of everything that we can do is.
Yeah. I love that. Beyond product innovation, what impact do you hope K18 has on the beauty industry?
I think the first and foremost, I think if we kind of think about K18, we have brought that thinking of less is more to that industry. In an
Yeah.
industry just prolific with products. Every day you kind of are creating new products, you're chasing new trends. We have demonstrated that an intentional thinking and
Yeah.
thinking, first principles thinking can actually kind of help you kind of drive more outcomes in a business and help you reduce that noise in the industry. This is where
Yeah.
we kind of feel we kind of we continue to kind of work, and we continue
Hmm.
to kind of play, and we've seen the results of this in show up.
Yeah.
Because I mean, frankly, I mean, when you kind of started K18, the whole idea of kind of saying, hey, we're going to have a very limited architecture of products, portfolio of products, and we're going to have only one K18 mask on an aisle, on a Sephora aisle.
Yeah.
There are not going to be 20 different products next to it. I mean, it was quite an outlier kind of a thinking in that, and nobody believed in it. But
Yeah.
that's
Interesting.
I think what it has taught us is that consumers out there are seeking that intentionality. They demand
Yeah.
intentionality. They demand performance that goes beyond making claims on the label to performance that shows up in their lives. They
Yeah.
seek they seek architectures that are not just transformational in terms of driving the outcome, but can reduce the stress. I mean, I could kind of we could have the K18 mask and make it a very elaborate exercise. Consumers don't want that. They want
Yeah.
simplicity. Kathy
They do.
spoke earlier. They want to save time. The more we can kind of think about architectures which focus on efficacy that lives in real life, that's
Yeah.
that can mitigate that stress, that can mitigate unlock these complex routines that we so much got used to, the more our consumers will value our products and our mission and what we do. And this is where we kind of we intend to kind of I mean, within the beauty industry, we just kind of literally got started. If you think about it, in the last 5 years, we literally created 3 first principle technologies, and
Yeah.
there's so
It's
much
wild.
more that's kind of happening around in and that's where, I mean, every day we focus on first principles, we focus on our biology roots. And the
Yeah.
more we kind of solve that, because fundamentally, if we kind of look at the world through the lens of the hair and the lens of a stylist, then if the hair is winning, your stylist is winning, their clients are winning. And as
Yeah.
a brand,
Everyone
we
wins.
continue to thrive.
I love that. Should we move on to our teas quick takes?
Oh,
Yes.
Let's do it.
okay.
All right.
Scary.
Let's start. Kathy, we'll start with you. Okay. If you
Okay.
could instantly master one skill, what would it be? And it can be hair related or not.
Non-hair related language, speaking other
Oh,
languages.
okay.
I
Love it.
wish I wish I'd paid attention in French class.
Yeah, I
I
know,
wish I'd paid
right?
attention. Yeah, it's like, you
Yeah,
never want to do it as a child and you always regret it as an adult. So if there was one thing I
absolutely.
could do, I wish I could speak multiple languages.
Now,
Suveen?
outside of the French language, where I kind of share Kathy's bucket list, I think I want to learn to dance. I think simply not
Oh,
because
Mm.
for the sake of dance, but fundamentally to sync up my left and
yeah.
right brain and remove the awkwardness
Mm.
in my daily life
I love
and really
that.
kind of flow into that. That's the reason why I want to love to kind of learn to dance.
I love
That's a
that.
good one.
Okay, what is your current song or your current go-to song or album? Like, what are you listening to?
Kat, you want to go first, and then you can.
Yeah, mine's not new though. I'm kind of just behind the times.
That's fine.
I've been really into Teddy Swims recently.
Okay,
So
good
I'm
choice.
listening to Teddy Swims a lot.
Okay,
It's
I
like
love that.
that's
Good
my
choice.
rotating. Yes.
Savine, what about you?
For me, it's a very old song. It's called "A Horse with No Name" by this group
Oh
called
yeah.
America.
Uh-huh.
I know it.
It's always kind of a very, very deeply resonated with me because
Oh,
it's been always about how do you kind of step away from the noise, from the
yeah.
confusion and the pressures, that constantly compete for attention. So the desert to me is a metaphor for that reflection, that perspective. And every time I really kind of edit it out and started kind of looking things differently, you kind of notice magic happening in life. So yeah, it's something
I
that kind
love
of
it.
keeps bringing me back, questioning assumptions and editing out everything.
That's a really,
Amazing.
I remember my dad listening to that. That's a really old song, right? But
Yes, in
I
1971.
have I have it in my head now. Yeah.
I love it.
I'll be
Okay, what haircut or color trend are you obsessed with right now? What that's happening in the industry?
For me, it's the graduated bob. I love
Okay,
that
love.
how,
Yeah,
people are drawn
beautiful.
to those sharper cuts that are very
Mm-hmm.
subtly graduated towards that front, maintaining that length, maintaining that weight around the face. And yet that hair has that, lifting at the back, that slightly kind of a
Yep,
Mhm.
classier feel.
love.
I love that.
Perfect.
I should we should have synced ahead of time because I was going to say Bob's too. Not graduated, but in general, Bob's as
Okay.
well. For me, I've noticed that I just think I like the diversity of a bob, and I've noticed and just when we're working on this product and we're working with people that are seeing thinning and shedding that a bob is a great solution a lot of the
Yeah.
time to someone with longer hair that's
Yep.
looking thin and scraggly, myself included. Right, I got a bob because I was thinning and didn't look so good, and there's just so much diversity with a bob that it can really give you a look of much more fullness and help during that kind of the shedding getting older years. I think it's a good transition cut.
I do too. I do too. Okay, last one. What is a tiny thing that made you smile this week?
So I have a silly one.
Okay, great.
I have a white Labrador, and
Oh,
her name is Chloe, and she's obsessed with water like all labs are. And I
oh,
got her this toy on Amazon that is a pedal that you hook up to a hose, and when you push the pedal, it sprays water in your face.
no way.
And
Oh,
I
cute.
taught her how to use this and how to, push the pedal. And you've never
Wow.
seen such joy in a living being in your life than I saw. So just like pure joy. She was out there just so happy,
I
spraying
love
herself
it.
in the face with water. So that was my thing that made me smile this weekend is like the absolute pleasure my
That's
dog got in that new
incredible.
toy.
That's incredible. Suveen, what about you? Something that made you smile.
I think two things. One is having this conversation with you,
Oh, thank
and
you.
and B is I'm in LA, and the hummingbirds.
Oh,
You saw this when you see
Mm,
this morning on and kind of playing around with the water jets. I think that's
I love
always
that.
like it's so beautiful, and it only brings joy.
You
yeah.
know what? I swear birds come up in every podcast I do. And oddly, I am really into watching birds. The listeners are sick of hearing me and birds, but I love that you said that. It's fun to watch. Okay, where can everyone find you? I mean, we know the brand certainly, but any last words on the launch, what we can expect, where we can find the products?
Look out for us at in our salons, through Salon Centric, through Costoprof,
Okay.
Sephora,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Amazon, and check us out at we recently launched K18 Hair Instagram for the professionals.
Okay.
And so
Great.
watch out for that space. We hit 10,000 last week, so
All
kind of I'm very
right.
excited about that.
Mhm.
And so what? Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
And this product is launching to pros first. It
Yeah.
launches July 22nd to pros first. So it'll be
Fantastic.
in Salon Centric before anywhere else in Cosmoprof.
Yeah, and I mean, post the launch, we kind of having a very interesting event in the first
Mm,
week of August in New York. So watch
okay.
the space for that.
All
Hmm.
right.
Love you to be there. If you,
Oh,
it's also
fantastic.
it's happening in New York. So
We'd love to cover it. That'd be fantastic. Thank you for that. So it was just a pleasure meeting with both of you. I feel like I might need like a brain break after this, Suveen.
Saveen's brain.
You know your stuff. I'm glad you're at the helm. Congratulations on the launch and all of your success. And thank you for joining us on Volume Up.
Thanks, Kelly.
Thank you, Kelly, for having us here.
See what I mean, Jeff? I
know.
Suveen in his mind is like wild. I mean, so brilliant. It was fascinating to see all the different facets of the brand and how these new products are coming to life.
And I'm so excited for our listeners who got to have access to all of that wealth of knowledge. I mean, it's not every day that people get to get this.
Right. The founder of K18. Be sure to hit subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and send in questions to volumeup@thetease.com.
Volume Up is a Tease Media production. This episode was produced by Monica Hickey and Madeline Hickey. James Arbache is our editor and audio engineer. Thank you to the creative team for the custom Volume Up theme song and for putting together the graphics and videos for this episode.